And now you know it. Hey, little lady, said you feel the same, but I don't believe a word you say, 'cause I don't think you're here to stay. No, I don't think you're here to stay. So tell me what you want, tell me how you want it. Tell me all the reasons that you're running away. I don't think you're here to stay. No, I don't think you're here to stay. No, no, no. I just wanna be with you. I just wanna be with you. Yeah. I just wanna be with you. Yeah, I just wanna be with you. I just wanna be with you. I just wanna be with you. Yeah. I just wanna be with you. Yeah, I just wanna be with you. I just wanna dance all night, forget my problems, I might go insane. I don't really give a damn what they say. And now you know it. I feel like you're lying, trying to be real, but you seem so fake. I'm so over trying to move on, but you're in my way. I'm so over trying to move on, but you're in my way. I just wanna be with you. I just wanna be with you. Yeah. I just wanna be with you. Yeah, I just wanna be with you. I just wanna be with you. I just wanna be with you. Yeah. I just wanna be with you. Yeah, I just wanna be with you. I just wanna dance all night, forget my problems, I might go insane. I don't really give a damn what they say. And now you know it. I just wanna be with you. I just wanna be with you. I just wanna be with you. I just wanna be with you.
Fill me out with your smile. Now the sunshine brings the light. Fill me out with a flame. I will let you in this game. Take me out when I'm down. 'Cause with you I'm safe and sound. 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 I'm safe and sound.
lots of love, but I guess I deserved it. Trying to hide, to pass you by. I'm getting numb, feeling fine. I'm light as air, no one can reach me. Lost in a dream, lost in between. Let's keep on flying, let's keep on breathing. I'm falling up, I'm falling down, from the sky and from the ground. Up above just like below, and I don't know where I should go. Cause I'm stuck in limbo. Cause I'm stuck in limbo. Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in our eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it rain. Tonight we gonna let it rain. Tonight we gonna let it rain. Just like the sunrise, we gonna let it rain.
onto the A site, and they're starting to position everyone to make sure they're okay, to be safe against that flame. He's holding onto middle. Tapson will catch Edward, but there is
back wall to that Xbox. So let's see, we've got Big's utility coming in first. Electronic is outside, but does he have the Molotov to go underneath? Oh, more mollies this. Great play from him. Unlucky not to get the third shot on the arm, but they won the round regardless. All right then, Smee will have an AWP, 4 AKs for the remainder of the team, and they may not have as much utility as they might have liked. Bouncing, flashes off the ball, but there will be an exchange of frags on long. Edward will feel comfortable trying to hold on to things here with the Molotov in the doors.
Pretty impressive of Gopi to get that kill there, just standing in the flames, being throwing additional grenades in his face and just dies on his sword, but gets a frag out of it. That's going to go quite far here for Big, the 4v4. You usually can have a good guess as to how CTs will react to that initial 4v4 early on, but Big looks like they want to speed things up here. They don't want to play slow rounds. They want to go
There's
for the set piece.
That's the HE I was talking about. It's taken half of Tabson away and half of Smooyer away. Meaty HEs.
Impact. High impact and additional nades to follow that. That will force Big to move forwards into Flamey's AWP. This is not a good look at all, James. For Big right now, they're getting annihilated. Just 2 players left. How can they make it across to plant the bomb?
There's one CT up the ramp as well, but hasn't found the angle just yet. Hello, goodbye. That's a nice play from Edward. Vintage Edward coming out. 7-2 in favor of Navi. Still, again, surviving with 3 players, though there's no plant for Big, and they won't have the money to buy in this particular round.
We are seeing playoff form here from Navi. They look very, very calm in their execution so far. Just great shots here from Flamey. Another day at the office for him. And Big are starting to struggle, James. They had a lot of options there. You get a 4v4 very early on your T side. On Dust 2, it's usually very difficult for the CTs to play that situation because the rotations are really big. Where do you cheat that extra player too? It's so hard. But still, Navi handle it comfortably.
Simple and Zeus on long once again. Generally speaking, we've seen Zeus on the ramp. Oh, Flamey saying hello as well. 2 P250s and 2 Glocks for Big. It is a gauntlet run. Eco rounds kind of suck on Dust 2. Not much you can really get out of them in most cases. A double peek. So they'll use that to try and distract. The bomb is heading towards a short position, but Electronic is still holding down the sights. There's a frag, but Simple and Zeus are in position. No plant for Big. They got 1 kill out of that, and that's pretty much all you can ask for, really.
Yeah, and this is amazing. We have seen a lot of the Dust 2s be quite CT-sided, which I think some people wouldn't have expected, but Navi right now, they must be feeling so comfortable. Big haven't really found a consistent way to attack this Navi defense. Navi have been playing pretty simple. They haven't really been taking any big risks. They're just making themselves, just they're trying to read their opponent's game. They're trying to just play it by the book. And so far, that's just working out. Just using those incredibly good players. Electronic anchoring that A-bomb site. Simple doing whatever he wants with the AWP. And that's a good place for them to be. And Big, they need something to turn it around right here. And they don't have full utility. Now working on some map control at defaults. Look to be taking short soon, one would imagine. They haven't been abusing those fast long takes in a lot of rounds, it seems, James.
1 minute 20, a lot less utility for Big than maybe they want at this point, from what we've seen in the previous rounds. Still waiting out the CTs. Getting curious towards long. Being aggressive Navi.
Oh, nice.
Very nice indeed. Zeus moving back now, leaving Flamey on long with AWP, but he spots the player through the door, and Zeus will be the rotator. Ooh, Gopi. Oh, he just saw a leg. He has to fall back.
Navi is so good at reading the movements of Big. They understand where Big are going to be in their defaults. The timing of some of those grenades from Navi have been spot on as to the pace that Big are playing. But speaking of pace, Big are going to turn up that pace. It looks like going for that B-split smoke in middle, and that's going to start pressuring this Navi defense. There's 30 seconds left, so surely they're going for Electronic straight through the smoke. Taken out though by Smoothie. Perhaps a chance now in this round for Big as Flamey tries to get to grips, but can Simple slow this play down as he's being crunched from both sides? He's got support, and Edward does a fantastic job. They can't seem to get to Simple.
15 seconds remain, and Simple is still alive on the side, just hiding. They have no idea he's there. Great flick from Simple. 3 on 1, and Simple's going nuclear on the B bomb site. 3 kills for him. Big had the low smoke and the high smoke in. Mid would stop Flamey being able to help them once that push came through, but there was so much information there for the CTs. Seeing 3 people through double doors, and Simple is full FPL mode on the B bomb site. He heard the footsteps.
Oh my god.
He heard the footsteps, which allowed him to scope in early, and then it was just a simpler correction after that, making it look easy.
Simple as a force of nature. How do you stop that? And it's so reminiscent to me, seeing, some of Astralis's, playoff form where it's just so hard to just gain any space into these bomb sites. Maybe you can get a bomb site, but you take so much damage. And you can see tabseN very animated right now. They're starting to feel the pressure, James, because they absolutely went into this match, into this first map, into this T site, thinking that they were going to have a way better time of things. But right now, Navi are shutting them down with just the basics.
Yeah, this is not going the way Big planned. And with all the preparation we know they do for all these matches, when you think you have so much up your sleeve and Navi just rip your sleeves off, it's got to be annoying. Where are his sleeves now? 7-round lead for Navi. 14 seconds remain in this timeout. Still they talk. $3,000 per person for Big. So we're likely looking at double figures here for Navi.
It's really interesting to see how animated tabseN is. He's doing all the talking right now. Godby completely silent. The experienced man, you expect him to maybe be sharing the words with the team, but everyone's just listening intently right now to tabseN as he seemingly is calling the shots here in this timeout.
Well, it can be depending on what information each player is getting positionally as things continue. They're doing this every round. They're doing this at this timing, so let's do this. This is how we avoid it. So you'll always have players of information to share. Those are the current odds from Betway. See if Big can make the comeback. 2 AWPs continue for Navi. Flamey's been quite on point, and speaking of which, Simple's turn now in mid versus the Pistols. Warm-up round, but has he seen the player below his scope? He's got Electronic for support. Frag's the third player, Frag's the fourth player. And next is the last one remaining. It seems there may be no damage in this round for Big, no. 2-10, Navi looking very dominant indeed.
And now things start to get really scary because Big might be facing this reality where they don't even have enough rounds if they get to that second half. And what if they lose the pistol? It doesn't bear thinking about at this point. They need to get a couple more at the very least just to have a second half in them. And double orbs comes out. So tabseN and Smooya, they're looking to get that big damage with those sniper rifles. A more pick-based play perhaps. Smooya goes for a pick onto the B bomb site. Can he find something? Yes, he will. Big get an opening, a 5v4 early on. That is the dream of every T side on Dust 2.
Now, how will Navi react to that? Simple and Electronic going towards the CT position and Zeus being left alone on long for the time being. So it looks like they want to put more defenses towards B, and that a crossing. So we've got basically 3 B at this point for the CT side, but they don't really have anything more than that frag from Smooya. Simple taking tabseN out, and that's the bomb as well. Although it's still retrievable, and he's going back to have another look. Not coming into a no-respect game, peaking for fun and getting almost every single frag. Tizian now just going for KD, won't get that either. A dominant half for and stop strat sheets because nothing seems to be going their way, and now Navi are taking absolute liberties. They're in CT spawn, T spawn, B, A, everywhere. And one of the things here is you wonder, okay, Big, it's got to feel really bad for a team like them. They've had a 5v4 more than, I think, at least 3 times, at least 2 times, for sure, that I can remember in recent memory, and they haven't converted at all on it. And that's something you need to be able to do. Convert on those 5v4's advantages on Dust 2. And Big, they go aggressive in this round. They go for a fast pace towards A, and it's so far, again, they're taking a lot of damage as they make their way across, and Navi know exactly how they're moving on the map. Another early disadvantage. They've got next to no utility. They are a utility-based team. tabseN on a grill. Smooya on a scout. Oh. Okay then, Mr. Godby. Lead by example. Get what you can out of this half. 4 rounds will be something, and they do definitely need both.
Yeah, maybe there's a chance now. I mean, you need to really lean on tabseN and Smooya, especially in these situations. But as you say, Goppy's trying to do what he can there, trying to bust into that side. A 1v1, 2 in fact for Electronic, 3, and he nails it every single time. Now just Tizian left to do damage from the long position. And can he get some damage, just at least to just get some kills on the board to maybe feel better about this situation? Because right now it is a horrible one. There's no sugarcoating it. He's going to push forwards. They know exactly where he is. They've got the bomb on short. There's no illusions here for Tizian about winning this round, but at least maybe he can make it hurt for Navi at the very least.
He's got to try. He's got 30 seconds. They can't afford to lose even one round, so he's got to go for it. He has time to do it, but the odds are not very great. The smoker's gone now, and he hasn't crossed. That's a problem. Now the double peek is possible. The flank continues, but Zeus will pick up an AWP, and that is 12-2 for Navi.
And I think one of the things about this game, James, I think we're really not seeing, you know, tabseN, in positions where they can really succeed. We're seeing it to be the case that it's very difficult for them to get into position, and that's because Navi, they're reading the movement of Big very well. They know their timings very well, and their individuals are being set up to succeed. And that's something that needs to change here for Big moving forwards in this last round. Can they get 3?
Navi seems to be getting stronger and stronger. Like there's more oxygen in the air. They're growing, they're evolving. A takeoff long once again, Flamey moving around the smokes, and Big starts slow. 2 rifles, 3 pistols. This is the last round of the first half. And they're looking for only their 3rd round on the board. Again, we've got some grenades in the middle area, a CT smoke, a counter smoke from the CTs towards that B tunnel, and on short as well. And now what do Big do? They have 1 flash, 1 smoke, and 3 Molotovs. That's all they have left, and Navi continue to push.
Oh, Electronic, he's changed up his position. We haven't seen this setup before. Another smoke put forward. That will delay things further for Big. And again, it just seems like Navi, they've got such a good beat on the positioning of Big every single round. And Electronic is just waiting to be set up. And they can play a bait setup with Flamey. There's Electronic. Or there's the flash to confirm information. And that's one way to do it. Oh. On the other hand, I don't know if they over-prepared or what's going on for them, but they can't find their footing.
Yeah, that was really, really rough. And now, first comes the pistol, 1 round at a time. But that's 1 round 13 times for them to, well, 14 times to win this. The margin for error is very, very small indeed. We're about to start in the 2nd half, so it is everything or nothing. Big have to win this pistol round.
Deep breaths all around as it comes down to this here. This is a map that Big need to win. The underdogs in this series, supposedly a strength of theirs, this does too. And here goes Simple. He's just straight out of the gate. He's been unleashed. Oh, well, it's actually Zeus there. The HUD needs to be refreshed. And as we switch back over to Gob, they're trying to just defend this A-bomb site. Maybe use that USP long-range advantage. Not quite going his way. And every shot that's missed is an extra foot gained of space for Navi as they take control of the long position. And they set up this push. And it is going to be scary.
No grenades to stop them from planting the bomb. Just the flashes. Goppy in the smoke for the time being. Oh, he's picked this up. They know it though. And they're shooting straight at the box. And I'm not surprised that they prepared for that one. The bomb's on the floor for the time being, but they still got a man advantage, Navi. Tizian waiting for head to appear. Got to be careful though. Smoke's dissipating. Putting out a grenade. They're exposed. Triple peek from the T's.
It's not hard to see why. They're just such a good unit, and they're coming together on this one very well. And individually, just everyone's just been doing their job and been executing things so well. It's good to see Navi in this kind of shape, but it's more about whether Big can just get their heads into the game here. They have to go for the force buy, of course, and the CT force buy on Dust 2 is just so difficult.
Yeah, the last thing you want to see there is tired gimmicks. That was going to get old very, very quickly indeed. Not hard to line up a shot when you know where they're going to be standing on the box, and there's a perfect example. Force buy for Big, no other choice really. A smoke and a flash, a scout on Tabson, and some pistols here and there. And they wait for Navi to impose their will. Double peak coming in. Navi looking very focused at these major finals.
Yeah, this is again, just a great round. Just everyone just set up to spring the attack based off of the information, off of the Mach 10 push, and Easy does it. How do you retake? How do you retake here? You don't have utility, you don't have guns, you don't have position, you don't have enough players. They might need 8 players to retake this, James, and that's not how Counter-Strike works. So it's a tough one, and they're in this dilemma now. Ooh, that's okay. Okay, maybe they can get something going. They get a frag. Is there a gun to be collected?
They were already saving. Tabson was moving away from the window position, and I think it was Simple who peeked him. Because he had the molly. I was wondering if they were going to go for that retake, but again, as you said, they're probably better resetting and starting in better positions in the next round, even though the score will be worse. They'll be facing game point, and a lot of them. Samir can't really peek too much. Definitely wants to hold on to that AK, but he can bait for next. And just maybe he'll pick something up. A kill with the Mach 10 would work as well, but he finds the AK, and that will be even better. 15-2 now. Navi at game point versus Big.
And the amazing thing is that, you know, if you were looking at this round just in isolation, you're like, oh, that's actually like a really good force buy round. You know, it started off very badly, but they managed to get 2 AKs from it and keep some armors, like 4 armors alive. That's great. But then you look at the overall context of the game, you're like, oh my god, if they lose another round, it's over. So there's no looking back now for Big. No looking back. They're going to have to make one hell of a comeback. We've seen many in this major so far. But do they have the resilience for that? Navi with a fast take of Long there. Simple leading the charge. In fact, isolated away from his teammates due to the Molotov, and they'll try to finish him off, jumping around the corner. But Simple will devour God B, and there's no one else to trade him.
I wonder if that second Molotov was to stop the T's from running out towards Blue, but either way, it doesn't work for the CTs, but they have a man advantage for now. Do they have any retrievable guns? Simple still creeping up Long. And Electronics being taken out. I don't know if the bomb has fallen into CT or not, but Edward is alone. They know where he is now, and he's up against 2 AK-47, so it's not the end just yet. No, the bomb is still on that short position. At least there's that. He is ill-equipped with the range he has, but maybe, just maybe, next to 3 HP, and that will be that. 16-2, Navi dominates on Dust 2.
I can't believe it. That really didn't look like he was going to win that round. It's the Mach 10. I don't know, he's been watching some Vega Squadron demos, that's for sure. But Navi, they were flying through this game, and that is not something I think Big expected. It's going to be a hard mental reset for them to get crushed in this manner on a map like Dust 2.
Yes, that was a... Let's not forget, Astralis and Liquid are in the same side of the bracket, so there is a run for Navi to have it.
And it's going to be really interesting to see if Nuke can be the savior. I don't have a lot of experience of seeing Big play on the map, but we know they always have something up their sleeves. We're going to find out after the break.
The seasons come and go like thoughts of you. Like a wave returns to the sea, into the blue. They change, but in a cycle that I can't lose. Each painful but delightful to live through. You came into my life just like another season. Not for long, just a time, just like another season. Maybe this time next year you'll reappear for no reason. But I'll cherish every day until you come my way this season. Season. Just like another season. Not for long, just a time. Just like another season. Maybe this time next year you'll reappear for no reason. But I'll cherish every day until you come my way this season. Changing all over again. Yeah, we will keep on changing, just like another season. to fall, and where were you? How could I know you were falling too? Grabbing the wind, cutting my skin, but it's hard because I'm falling. Tell me why I'm falling. Oh, life's calling, but it's hard because I'm falling. Falling, 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 I am who I'm meant to be. I am who I'm meant to be. Over and out. Again. My future needed clarity, so I could see how you react, how you react to me. So much differently. I am different. Every time that I look back, I see my fortune. Would you react to me? So much differently. Doubted all that I could do, knowing what I need to do. All I can say, the word is thank you. I think it's what you need to push away from the shore.
The advantages. Now they could entirely have a dominant CT half and try and they want to and try and shut the game down early, although from what we saw on the first map, I don't think Navi will allow that.
It's just very scary that Navi are going to be picking a nuke against you, and I mean, do you think that Big would have prepared for this against Navi? It's hard to really know. It's hard to say. I think you know, with what Alex was sort of saying, that sort of notion of their stat, it's more about that mental game. You know, I feel like for Big on that first map, for me personally, it seemed like they had this a game plan, maybe over prepared or something like that, because it seemed like no one could kind of get. That you couldn't get your individuals going. Obviously, to some extent, with Simple playing like he is, and Electronic playing like he is, just all the cogs in the Navi machine working so seamlessly, that's always going to be difficult to deal with. But you have to wonder, can they bring themselves together mentally when it comes to being on your first massive stage match and now facing a situation where you could get blown out the water?
It does seem like it was a surprise, at least for the desk, and I can't imagine Big were expecting this, but again, they're no strangers to nuke, so hopefully they can take it to a third map and have a good showing of themselves. This is not, you don't want to make your first major finals and leave unceremoniously, especially on home turf, I'm sure Smeet is thinking. So I hope he comes into this one angry, but it's the whole team who needs to deliver, not just him. Rightly booed. You should be ashamed of yourself.
I think it's going to be interesting as well because we'll get to see Navi play T-side now. We didn't really get to see all too much of them. We just saw them defending, receiving those plays from Big. But now, it is, as you mentioned, Big start on that T-side. They won't have to worry about taking that initiative as much, setting the pace as much. It's going to be more about adapting to your opponent. And I am so curious to see if we can see more of that simple defense also replicated on the offense. And we are about to find out because we have started the pistol round. We are live, map 2 here. Big versus Navi. And indeed, Navi on the offensive.
Yeah, Navi 2 for 2 on pistol round so far. Can they continue that trend here on Nuke? 4 sets of Kevlar for Big. Got B with a CZ. Always nice to have a CZ in a rush position. As you can see, Smear's in the vent. The thing is, if you're going to play here, you want a CZ, because with a USP, I mean, at least he won't be shooting their Kevlar, or a 5.7 would he be even better. 20 bullets would be quite nice. Looking for the one shots towards the ramp position, but no advantage just yet for either side.
Yeah, it's like a knife edge here. You don't want Tizzy to go down. He's going to be more interested in just falling down to the lower site rather than putting himself in an at-risk position. And Simple, and meanwhile, is by the squeaky door, looking for that opening, looking for someone to get a bit too greedy on their peaks, and he can shut them down. But no one just yet. They'll just push in anyway. My goodness, Blamey just 180 out of the door there, but it will be controlled with that CZ in the hands of GodB doing some damage. And now Navi on the back foot. Oh, Tizzy's moved into a forward position. That's a master stroke. Catches both Zeus and Electronic. Unknowing, but it's Simple, James. And the 1v4 with a P250 and Kevlar. But, oh, that is very nice, but not nice enough to stop the likes of Smuya. That's Big with the pistol. That's what you want to see.
Warning shots from Simple, but that was great tracking towards the ramp position there, with the player jumping as well. Very important frag, stopping them from escaping. Tizian, he's been good so far. So you see there's a low ceiling. Now the idea is that the T jumps off of the ceiling and lands quickly again to avoid being headshot. It's something you used to see RPK doing on Cash in, I think Saucy used to do that. He was famous for doing those kind of plays, so you see that leaking into CSGO as well. HE's being delivered to the outside. More vintage stuff. They'll do some damage. There's a flick there from Simple, and Smear's on 32 HP. Better be careful.
Yeah, that first scout tag might be a bit more coy now. Look, all down to 1 HP. Oh, he's in the open. Edward finishes him off with the Deagle. You can see that scout shot from Simple just doing so much there. And Smuya, he didn't want to give up the position, rightly so, but now a 5v4 for Navi in this force buy scenario. And we'll have to see if they can convert on this. It can get awkward for Big, but this is a good map if you're a CT side. You lose a player, you just tighten your rotations, you tighten your defense, you can change the setup really easily as a team. Just have to make sure you don't give up any free 1v1s.
Next getting aggressive, and you can see Zeus's position. This is actually a common position on Nuke if you're playing anti-eco. That's a nice shot, monsieur. It's a strong position if you're playing anti-eco and most of your team are outside. If there's a push from Ramp, if there's a push from Squeaky or from Hut, you can easily retreat. You've got lots of close quarters engagements where you can take a 1v1 and continue to fall back. Round is quite nice as well. And now we see the 30-second mark, and it's a 5 versus 3 for Navi as they move into B.
This is very scary for Big. What are they going to be able to do about this? Just holding their ground for now is not a good look. Just need to keep hold of those guns. How have Navi done this? How they've created a situation where they are 5v3 in the force buy. They've taken no damage, and they're going to get a bomb down and win the round. How have they managed to do that? That is a complete catastrophe for Big. Yeah. What do you do after this?
A lot of people say that the T side winning the second round is better than winning the first. I mean, a given is wiping out the CT players. Now 3 players are surviving for Big, so this will be a stronger round number 3 for the CT side. But there are absolutely advantages to be had, and if Big force around this next round and Navi wipe them out, then it's pretty much the same situation. So let's see if they can do that. Big opportunity for Navi to have a great start to Nuke, already being 1 map up.
It's definitely, I mean, for Navi as well, just looking at them in the last map and their temperament. Again, a team that knows that they're destined for the finals. They're a championship level team. They're peaking into the playoffs. You know, it's just so smooth from them right now. It doesn't seem like anything could really distract them from how well they're playing and just this clean and crisp execution of the rounds in which they have planned. And Big, they need to throw something in the works here to make that not. We'll see Smia once again with that scout outside. Can he get something more this time? Last time was woefully inadequate.
Quite a difficult position, the silo, to deal with as Smia, somebody going in and out of the garage. So many places you can stand on a silo, but very few places you can emerge from the garage. You see Gobby reading that position, looking for Zeus, but you won't get much of him. Next, wanting to get something, but when will he continue to push? Does he go for a ramp flank? Could there be somebody in that squeaky position? Perhaps not on this occasion. Zeus still waiting, 1 minute mark, and they can hear him jumping, but no one is engaging just yet.
Ooh, that could be a pretty good nade indeed. Some additional damage done. Big's defense forced further and further back here. You can see Tabson just worrying about these very deep positions on that lower bomb site. And Electronic in the vent area. Navi have spread themselves around the map quite effectively here, and that could start to really wear on this defense here as it could get split up from Big's perspective, and they may have to be forced to some interesting 1v1s. And are they keeping a good read of this movement from Navi? You can see that flank on the outside as well.
This almost looks like a 5-on-5 just on the B bomb site.
20 seconds to go though. That's not too much time. That's a big 1v1 to win. How do they get the bomb down now? They got the smoke there. Oh, that's a good shot from Flamey. Just enough space for Symbol to plant the bomb, but they're also weak.
Taken out in the control room is Tizian. 3-on-3 now. Gobby pulling a grenade out, but the timing is brutal. Zeus looking for stuff. There's a trade, and they continue now. They're both low. Smia can do this with the scout, but he's being too careful maybe. He gets tagged. They're both so low, but they just can't fight it. Are they nervous? Flamey would take a headshot to 2D. And that is the round for Navi. You almost feel like, I mean, that was Big's round to win towards the end there. And you do wonder if the nerves are settling in because they had so many opportunities and they didn't land a single bullet.
Yeah, that first shot from Flamey, that's what allowed them to really get that bomb down safely. And then just coming out huge with the deagle, seeing Simple's face afterwards, he could barely believe what he'd just seen. He thought the round was lost. And Flamey just delivers them another round. A very important one, again, just holding on to this economy and just keeping Big away from having an economy. It's so stressful. It's going to be so hard for Big to deal with. Everything seems to be going wrong after that pistol round once again. And Navi, they've got a MAC-10 on Edwards. And Simple's got a scout. These are two players which are somewhat expendable. They can move them forwards to get information as to what the CTs are doing. And perhaps they can find safe passage to a bomb site.
This is a disastrous start now for Big. Disastrous. Pistol rounds. And Navi can continue to make money. Pressure this team. And if Big lose the first buy round, then they're really going to start to feel it. And already, I really feel like they are feeling the pressure based on all the misses in that round. The close range scout, the AK, again, it was just like 2 bullets of Flamey, unless it was a scout, of course, 1 bullet for the other player. Nobody doing anything. Edward's been delivering so far, raising his level for the major finals. 45 seconds, and it seems Navi will start to move into the A site. Smia going up, he'll be heard, of course. The numbers are there to trade for Navi, and this is looking comfortable. Tizian alone now 1 versus 2. He's got an AK though, so don't count him out just yet. The bomb's on the floor as well, and he has an angle on it. So if he can avoid a player coming in from the hut, although he has to move to his right to catch somebody here. Oh, Edward manages to pick it up. Does he realize Tizian can win this?
That high position though from Flamey, that's going to be so difficult to deal with. They seem to have a good read onto where Tizian can be coming from as well. They have safe positions in the after plant. Player low or player high, that's always very tough to deal with. And it seems like Tizian's just going to back away, keep the AK, and he's not wrong to do so. He's got a smoke, he's got an AK-47, he's got no Kevlar. As soon as he's discovered, he's likely going to get traded. So he'll fall back and keep that AK alive into the next round, and that'll be something for Big.
I think if the door is open, he goes for it, but the door's closed. If he opens the door, it's almost a guaranteed 2v1. If he goes out the hut, he's at a massive disadvantage where his legs will get shot before he even sees anything if someone's on the high ground. So he will indeed save the weapon. 3-1 for Navi. We look at the money on the CT side now, and it's not great, it has to be said. What will they choose to do, Big? Are they saving for the AWP? Tizian could buy an AWP actually, but then he would have no Kevlar, so no buy just yet.
And you can make a variety of different setups work on Nuke CT side. And we see the shotguns coming out I mean, I think, you know, Nuke was actually one of the maps where you'd see a shotgun on the CT side played most of all. You know, you would see it around the hut, around the squeaky door positions. It was always very popular there. And, you know, we've seen it as recently, you know, Get Right made an amazingly, very impactful clutch in Stockholm recently with that kind of a play. So that's always an option. You can be very flexible on the CT side because this map is all about those CT rotations. Unlike many other maps, you actually have the advantage from a rotation perspective.
Timeout from Navi. Oh no, sorry, from Big, excuse me. Now let us see. What are they going to do? Seems they might buy around what they have. Tizian spent 4,700. Oh no, never mind. They're restoring the round, so we will wait to find out. So in an ideal world, Big have the money for an AWP. This is not an ideal world, but they are a map down, so maybe they wait for one. Already difficult decisions for Big early on Nuke, and we really don't know what to expect from Navi on this map, so this will be a journey of discovery. Admin doing
on the lower side. That's already ridiculous. And then, you know, able to convert off of that, you know, in two consecutive rounds. And that's really, really a bad sign for Big. There's no two ways about it, because if Navi do have a playbook, I don't think that those first two rounds, you know, with them winning that force buy is part of that playbook. So that's a scary sign, and you know, we'll see indeed a half buy here from Big, not spending all the dollars, so they will keep some in the tank, and they have the AK and some pretty strong pistols, he says, Deagle, P250, so...
Look at this outside play. Molotov has gone up towards the silo position, and Tabsim's in position behind the Fox, so this is quite a setup from Big. So far, so good, but Edward will eventually jump on the silo, so Big have a plan for this round. There's a long flashbang, but doesn't quite do the job, and this becomes winnable for Big now with 2 frags.
Beautiful outside setup. They put all their chips in this push on the outside positions, and now it gets cleaned up by Navi. They convert well, but still 2 pistols at large here for Big, as we'll see these weakened Navi players definitely in a spot where they've got to take a great deal of care, because these pistols now, you know, Flamey very, like 1 bullet from death and Zeus only a couple. They become very strong, and they look to even perhaps make a double peek back into the outside position and confirm information. Not just that, there's guns to be collected if the T's have gone already, but we can see they haven't. This could be a big moment here for Big. Can Nex and Smooya do it for the team?
This is basically pure guesswork now. So here's Zeus on the roof, but it's a gamble as to where you look, but still Nex gets the kill. Now they can reset the situation. They can just rotate somewhere else again, but Nex is stuck behind the box. He hasn't got time to run all the way back to hell. In the meantime, Navi moving through the secret position, but will it be towards B? Already Smooya in the vent. He's not going to peek plays as they move past, though. Surely they both go in. No, Flamey will catch him. Now Nex starts to creep with a CZ. It can be very dangerous, but Flamey's got a great angle, and that is the round rescued for Navi, 4-1. But here comes the buy for Big.
Yeah, this is such a good start for Navi, and that was, I mean, a good attempt from Big. It was cool to see that they had a plan. That bait setup with the AK was really, really awesome, and you know, hopefully they can, you know, use some of the momentum there, some of the success there, and convert that into this round. They've got that AWP, as you say, they've got that full buy to work off of, so we will get to see a proper round from them now. And you know, Smooya, you know, he's been a bit quiet so far in this series, and this would be a great time for him to stand up and deliver. There's no AWP for him to face outside. He's against AKs, so he has a chance here to do some damage.
Early grenades outside, Molotov inside to stop the CT being in main, being useful. That's a real problem. If you have a player, a T player moving in, blowing off the door, putting a Molotov in main, it's scary. To have that every round is a problem, and now we've got Navi moving towards a secret position. You see Electronic delivering some more flashbangs, and Smooya delivers 1 kill. Tabsim spotted a player in the garage, and Smooya's looking for him as well. So this looks good for Navi. Oh no, he just took half a second to take his shot, but Tabsim's there to trade.
That's a 4v3 now for Big, as Navi put on the heat here, trying to capitalize on these players in 4 positions. Edward does just that, down to 1 HP, barely escapes the flames. And he has to rely on Simple now. Edward isn't in no condition to take a fight. Maybe he can trade for Simple, but there are 3 players left. So the math does not favor them. And GOB finishes it off with a nade, so can't even entertain that idea. Down to Simple with 50 seconds. He's got the bomb. Full Kevlar, Molotov, and AK-47, and, well, he's Simple. So let's see what he can do in this position. They don't know where he's coming from. Starting to edge his way into that lower bomb site. There's about 500 different places to check, it feels like, as he pushes through that hut position. It's very precarious. As time runs low, eventually his hand will be forced into that bomb site. You can only wait for so long in his position. See him edging out slowly but surely. Where are these CTs? 15 seconds to go.
The CT is currently set up for the B bomb site. Now GOB starts to creep. He was watching the ramp position, I believe, but he knows that there's only so much time before they make that play. Moving into the site now, Simple's completely blind. There's not enough time to plant the bomb, and they can't do any more damage. Big win their second round. 3 players surviving. Tizian rescues the AWP, and that's something for Big.
Where did that flash come from? That was just absolutely perfect. He couldn't do anything.
Yeah, he bounced it around the back of the silo, moved to his left, and it was really confusing for Simple. He basically threw it to where he thought Simple would try to avoid it, and he ate it. He ate that flashbang. Now, I don't know, I feel like, I do wonder if the nerves are getting to Smooya. We've seen a few shots missed or a moment's hesitation, which has been the difference between a frag and getting fragged. And those have to disappear quickly. I know his parents have made it down here as well, so maybe there's more on the line here. Something to show of himself. Not too late though, very early here in this game of Nuke, but Big have to win these consecutive rounds.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. And it's so expensive when you lose so many players. You lose the AWPs, as you saw previously, as you say, like it does have a ripple effect. Smooya going down in some of those spots, and tabseN always in such a good position here. That's a strong nade. Oh, that's some good damage there onto Navi as they play these forward positions towards Secret. tabseN just trying to slow them down as much as he possibly can. He's doing a good job of it, and Smooya stays out there, so he can keep tabs on if Navi double back into the yard or not.
Alert smoke into the hut, but there's enough of a gap for Next to see, and that's not really what Navi wants, I don't think. Assuming a player is on the hut. So that will make things a little better for Big. 5-on-5 continues as we reach the 40-second mark. So he's been taken down outside though, and now Edward's moving to flank the hell position.
30 seconds. Time is really indeed running low. Next is watching Squeaky. A big 1 versus 1. He'll actually concede the position, just falling back. Doesn't want to go down and create an open passage for Navi to get to a bomb site, but they really need to find a way in. They have 20 seconds now. Surely there's no time here for them as they just look to go into that lower bomb site. 15 seconds. Time is probably a bigger enemy for Navi than Big at this point, as tabseN waits for someone to just rush desperately onto the plant. Oh my goodness! Down so low, he can't prevent the plant. That's incredible. That's so important. Zeus gets it done.
You can see the frustration there. Tizian holds on though, but now we've got a very low Tizian at the back, and he has to just lurk and wait for the rotation. But GOB's already moved away. They've given up on this round, and it's about Tizian to try and slowly creep away, but Flamey will find him. And if they're lucky, maybe 2 players will survive. Next on the roof of A. And Navi go back to winning ways. Round number 5 coming their way. Looks like 2 players will survive here for Big, but the money, this is too costly for the side.
If that bomb doesn't go down, James, that's it. There's no time. There's
So
no time to
close.
play. It's incredible how that should have been a kill. That's crazy. I mean, it must be so frustrating for Big. Can you imagine being in their position? You need these rounds desperately, as you say. They need to start winning consecutive rounds. You've lost so much money dropping those AWPs, and yet again, just every single marginal situation. Zeus, what a savior! That's an incredible kill to get with the time.
Absolutely crazy, and you can see that the pressure is not affecting Navi at the moment. So here is the situation for Big. 3 pistols, 2 M4s. The last thing you want is a reset on the CT side of Nuke when you got reset after the pistol. This could hardly be a worse situation for them on the CT side. But let's see. They can still win this round, and they will most certainly be trying to. But it is Navi with all the tools, the grenades, the guns, to advance position, which they have been able to do, even if some of these rounds have gone down to the wire. Smooya looking for some info, but not fighting to the death. Electronic on the flank, and he can hear Smooya still running around. They have to wonder, is it a trap? Could somebody be behind Electronic's current position? Either way, Big starting to get cut to pieces. One rifle remains along with the CZ and the Deagle.
Yeah, trying to take those peaks, those 1v1s, being sadly disappointed. And Navi once again just... Every time Navi seem to be in an advantage, they are very good at just closing it down and playing with that advantage. And that's not been the same story for Big in some of these situations, unfortunately for them. And again, as you mentioned, just picked apart one by one. Navi continuing to do damage, to demoralize, and he floats Big. It's a nice shot from Tizian, looking for another one, but he will be taken down by the remainder of Navi. And that's 6-2 now as they continue to build upon their score.
Well, the money still sucks for Big. And that's a problem. In this round, Simple's going to start with 6,500, Flamey 7, Electronic 5, the rest a bit lower, but assuming that Navi win this round easily as well, then when Big get back onto their bye, there's so much pressure, just not in just in that round, but in the next round. If they get reset again, that might be GG for this half. So it's a very tall task for Big to clear out the cash of Navi if they want to make a comeback. Got be eating a very meaty grenade to kick things off in this round, but he doesn't have much to fight with anyway. But you always want the numbers alive to swarm. We've got a Deagle and a CZ here with full armor for next, so if he's able to get something done to pick something up, you want the rest of your team alive to try and abuse the numbers elsewhere as the T start to panic, but that won't be the case, as you can see.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so grim. Such a grim tale here for Big. And, I'm thinking back to that moment when we had that interview with Edward and Flamey, and just how Flamey's like, it's just not about, our goal is the finals. Everything up until that point is not trivial necessarily, but for us, it's just almost a guarantee. And so, you can see exactly why, how confident they are with this. And, you start to think as well, you start to hope that Big have a good T-side in them, because they're going to need it, because Navi are already off to what you would call a pretty solid T-side. 7 rounds of the first 9. And once again, we're back into buy territory here for Big. Smooya can grab an AWP. And we need to see something different here, James, because this is the territory now where things really start to get out of hand for Big. They still have a chance to scrape something back, which can be respectable. They can take control of this half still. But it's really this pivotal moment here with this buy.
A timeout from Big, and they will understand that it's not about this round, it's about the next 3 rounds and all of them going the way of Big. If they get reset again, they might start to creep those nerves to wonder, are we about to leave this tournament unceremoniously? This is arguably their biggest chance at a major, I feel like. I don't think they've ever been more prepared across more maps. But we are still to see it here in the SSE arena. 2 rounds to the 7 of Navi. 3 players just shy of $10,000 for Navi. Again, there's going to be buys after buys after buys after buys. Big have to withstand all of that if they want even a chance, a sniff at a 3rd map.
And we see something here from Big. Edward goes very quickly forward into the outside positions. tabseN playing deep in the garage. Well, we'll spot the drop down, or maybe not. Maybe there's a flash. Can't get a shot off. Edward is laying into them. That's 2 quick kills on the upper bomb site. There are some trades coming in here, but Navi are gaining some ground into that upper bomb site, and that's what's important in this 3v3. Can Big go for the retake here successfully?
Bomb planted very quickly indeed. 3 flashes remain for Navi. No more mollies for the high ground. Now Tizian needs to wait for his teammates to run distraction. Wants someone to look towards main, Electronic to look away from the heaven position. 2 players poked off. Tizian activated. Simple to trade. Now we're in a 1 versus 1. Simple moving into the hut. Some spray, not a trade that shows position. Having to reload. tabseN has a Molotov. And Simple's through it already, and straight in the face of Simple. Disaster strikes for Big again. 8-2 for Navi.
Oh my goodness, just these clutch moments, again going the way of Navi, showing their quality once again. That was a chance, that was a big chance there for the German and British side, but Simple moves in, shuts down tabseN, star against star, and it was Simple who was clearly shining brighter in that moment. As Navi go 8-2, and once again back to the same story here for Big. Pistols, some HE grenades, which likely they will deploy all together outside here. See Gobby leading the charge. Quick timing with that. Zusto opens the door. The spray is unleashed, and he's going to find a lot of information for his team. Hello, Edwards. It's a bit laboured, but he makes it work. And that is a quick cleanup there of Big's eco rounds and back into the buys again.
Lambs to the slaughter. I don't know if you ever went to Laser Quest, Dan, or Quasar, one of those laser shooting game things.
Well, of course I did, James.
The worst player always got the lambs to the slaughter on their receipt thing at the end. And that was quite the round for Navi. 9-2, Big on the bye again. They have had minimal success in this half, and it's the same story as Dust 2, I think it's fair to say. They are defending. This was their chance to have a great half. They have 2 rounds of 11.
Yeah, and there's been some close moments, but they can't seem to eke it over the line, but maybe this can be different. Tapson doesn't know what's going on. It's very impressive. He even got a frag there, considering how confused he was in that situation. Players surrounding him now. Oh, Smooya is going to deliver a frag. That's a 4v3 here now for Big as they keep tabs on exactly where Navi are moving on the map. You can see Tizian does adjust his position appropriately, and the rest of his teammates will start to tighten things up. Big 1v1 goes the way of Electronic, and that will get Navi back in this round. As you can see, they can join up now to make an attempt at the bomb plant.
Electronic moving wide, but no trade fragger needed. CT's moving down the ramp now. Smear's being dispatched off 2 versus 3. The Molotov stops them from looking wide towards control, cutting across the site and so on. Now more Molotovs being deployed. Flamey spotted at the back, but where are the other 2 players? Flamey spotting the information for the other teams. They'll trade, and now it is 1 versus 1. Electronic with 10 HP, absolutely no fear. 10 HP and 10 rounds for Navi to the 2 of Big.
It's another 1v1 after plant situation, James. Another one. And again, Big had that man advantage. You know, there's that 1v1 that Electronic takes there to make it a 3v3. So many moments where, again, the stars for Navi really shine and pull them out of a bad situation. And it is starting to get incredibly bad here for Big as we get, once again, the pistols in play as they go for the eco. And Navi quite content to run the full AK setup, don't need an AWP, and they're keeping the pace on fast here. Flamey looking for an early pick in towards the A bomb site. And Zeus in the 4th position as well. They are hammering this upper bomb site.
Relentless pressure from Navi. Relentless pressure. Don't give them time to think. Zeus almost getting caught up, but he's got help in the name of Simple. But now the bomb's been lost and has fallen through the door. That is a very tight choke point, but Next is trying to force the issue. And Tabson's here at the back. They know that Zeus is still in Pop Dog as well. Man advantage continues for Navi. A flying Tabson takes out Zeus. 2-on-2 to try and control his bomb. And now Edward is going to do it. 11-2 for Navi.
How many kills were around that door position? That's kind of weird. But I suppose it was an eco round after all. And now we're back into the buys. And it has to change. You know, I keep saying this for Big. You know, it has to change. And you know, this is their chance to maybe get four rounds to work with at least.
The fact that Navi are happy in their booth is quite telling of how dominant this is, because business as usual is to have some heated conversation. So this is quite the performance from Navi.
Indeed, it is actually.
This is a mirror of the first game.
It's true. Just on different sides. So the CT side is. Or sorry, the T side is the CT side for Big that's getting shut down so hard, and Smooya changes his position up. We've seen him outside with the orb many times, but this time can be taking a peek from the secret position. But Navi, they've got so many players coming his way. Must be careful. Tabson looking for anyone coming over the silo area. Creeping on top of main. 3 players here perhaps, or 4 in fact, for Smooya to deal with. How will he play it?
We are not live, we have been told. For whatever reason, we are NL, not live, not live, not live. And Nex is having an issue. He will reconnect to the server, so time for Big to think. It was 2-11 in the first game. It is 2-11 in the second game. This would be a very fast dispatching of Big from the tournament. This would be Big jettisoned into the sun, burning in the atmosphere, unceremoniously.
Yeah, it would be just like, it's just a different weight class here. I mean, Navi are playing the heavyweight, and the lightweight comes into the ring and just gets absolutely smashed. You think you're the king of the world, but Navi It's really sending a statement to them, saying all the things that they need to do better to step up to the task of defeating Navi, which is so much. Because if we think about the way Navi have been playing, James, these individuals are already just performing their roles incredibly well. If something goes wrong, the individual skill is just so clean and on point that all the clutches go their way as well. So there's so much for Big to adjust to.
A moment to reflect. I think we have seen a slightly nervous Big so far, but it's never too late to turn things around. We've seen many a comeback. But do they have it in them? Nuke appears to be a masterstroke for Navi so far, only dropping 2 rounds of 13. And we move into the last 2 rounds of the first half, and we're not far away now.
Yeah, and I think it was a fun point that you mentioned about the temperament in Navi's booth. It is, I think it's Simple that has said, when questioned about how maybe sometimes aggressive things look in the Navi camp when they're communicating with each other, that actually, you know, they're really heated games is where they get to play their best performances. And to see them just happy is really weird. I don't think I've ever really seen that too often from them. So it's interesting to see how that dynamic works. And looks like we'll be going back into the game. Can Big bring themselves back into the game? That's the question.
Maximum of 4 rounds on their CT half. And it doesn't look likely. Can they get past 2? Simple. Vintage plays opening the squeaky door of an AWP. You used to see it from the window as well, but now there is no window in the hut. The window was bricked up.
Love seeing this, the spam through the wall there and in through to lobby. That's so 1.6. That is amazing. Well, Smooya, once again, staying around that secret position. Again, moving from playing outside with the AWP. Could be what they need. You can take some really strong angles where you can take a shot and then fall back without being traded. You just have to hit the shots. That's all you have to do. And sometimes it's sounds a bit more simple than it really is, because when those flashes start coming your way, let's see if Navi do that. Will they flash this or dry peek? It's a dry peek and Smooya gets it. That's a good start from him.
And he can re-peek again and take another shot if he wants to, but he'll take the safer route. It has been an arduous task for him to get some kills in this game of Nuke, and Edward will get taken out. Not quite working for him. Tizian needs to move away from the grenades. We've seen plenty of them up there from the teasers they planted on the back of B. 3 versus 5. 3 CTs towards that ramp position. Nexon got B or elsewhere. How do Navi do some damage at the very least in this round? Simple trying to do as much as he can, but he'll settle with that one.
Yeah, that is so important. Pinning those numbers ever so slightly. Zeus helps out the cause as well. Picks off one himself. And now a 3v3 all of a sudden. That is a really big start here for Navi in this afterplant, but Tabson has something to say about it. But around the smoke, Zeus does more damage. Now down to Smooya with the AWP. It couldn't be more awkward. These T players playing control room. They're throwing the nades. He goes forwards, doesn't know which way to look. Flamey finishes him off, and it's another round, James, where a 5v3 turns into a win for Navi, the team being on the 3.
A 5 versus 3. They get 1 kill out of it, unable to trade. Nuke proving to be very difficult for Big.
And I love that from Navi. You know, again, it's a situation with 3v5. If we're going to win this round, we have to find a way to take the initiative quickly, send them into disarray, get a pick. They send Simple with a flash, and that's exactly what it does.
Navi dropping an AWP in... Oh, they've got an auto sniper. Simple, what are you doing with that? Where is Simple going with the auto sniper? This is very curious. There is an AWP, an AK, sorry, and an AWP behind them, so they have the choice of all the tools. This is cheeky, this is BM, and I think this is just a great confidence play. Even if it gets no kills, just let it ring out, just to depress your opponent a little more.
Yeah, and you can be such an unforgiving map when you feel like you can't get chances to do stuff, and that must be how Big feel. And I'm scared for them that also sniper is going to do some damage. But we'll see. It is indeed a 4v5 here for Navi, so they're off on the worst foot. But they do have the better weaponry overall. And Smooya spots ahead. Oh no, he couldn't find the connection. That's a massively big miss there for him. And now we get Tizian stepping up to the plate, doing the damage. Being the guy that Big needs, James. He's going to actually secure for them the 3rd round on the board. That's something at the very least.
It is something. Every round important towards the end there for Big. But now they must do it the hard way. 12 rounds just to tie the score on the T side. Now, they won the pistol in the first half. They need to win the pistol in the second. Navi won both pistols in the first game, but winning the pistol has only been good for 3 rounds, 3 completely separated rounds in this game so far. 6 seconds until we continue. A lot of utility on the big clan. Where on earth are they headed?
Again, deep breaths, this pistol round, as you mentioned, it can be so impactful. Navi, they've got so much confidence, they can take some big risks here, really put salt in the wounds for the big side. See, push outside coming in here. Flamey, see what damage he can do. And we'll see whether or not there is any play here for Big in the early phases of this round. So far, not too much, but now the nades start flying, and we get the shots ringing there from Simple. Takes an elevated position. There is one, taking down Smooya. More to follow, perhaps, as Simple pushes the issue. Tizian says no once again. And they'll continue to push into the upper bomb site as Edward lays the fire down. It is quite the brawl here, going 1-for-1 both teams, but finally, perhaps there could be a chance here. It is indeed going to go the way of Big. That's exactly what they needed.
It is indeed. That did go to Big. I think it said Navi on the screen, but it definitely was Big, so don't worry about that. Gremlin in the system. Nice shot from Tizian. He's been on point at the very least, but most of the points have been in the faces of Big. But here we go. That is the first round on the board. Can they get a consecutive round now? If they did win this round, it would be their first consecutive round so far. The pistol's out for Navi, the scout on Simple, and pretty much all of Navi have been looking pretty hot. Edward has had a lot of focus on him of late, but he's looking really good so far. So don't assume any round is for free here. Simple looking for something, looking for a tag. Smooth's taking light damage. What is the play here from Big? Flamey's been looking dangerous with just Desert Eagle running distraction because Electronic is lined up, but there'll be no frag for either.
4 MAC-10s, what you gonna do? It's like Zeus with the 5-7, looking for some cheeky shots through the door, get flashed away, and the MAC-10s will do their job. And a very clean and simple round here from Big, not overcomplicating things, and that's one of the reasons why the MAC-10s can be fun. You know, you can easily run together and accurately, with that running accuracy, do some good damage, trade out for each other, move quickly to really make sure this round goes your way, and it has gone very well for them. There was some, I was worried when we were watching Flamey's perspective, holding those angles of the deagle. I can just see it happening, those headshots coming in, but Big will avoid all of that noise and continue on to convert. And that's good to see, because as you mentioned, James, it's not really been the trend, has it?
1 round at a time. 1 round 7 times to tie the score, but just one by one. Keep a read of your opponent's economy, your expectations. And again, it's Big. They are one of the teams with the strat book. And yeah, it has not been the case, Dan. These consecutive rounds. They look good for this round, though, unless Edward goes absolutely interstellar with this deagle. There are now 3 P250s as well. So it's still a dangerous one. Looks like a fast play into the A bomb site with a timing for some flashbangs. Looking towards the roof, spotting one player there. No bouncing Zeus play, but the MAC-10 will be enough. 3 kills, and that is a very clean take of the A site. Double Molotovs up the top, only one will do the job. And that's pretty much this round done. So there we go. Big looking to move to half the score of their opponent. And then who knows from there.
Yeah, this is what you love to see. Can they keep it clean? Oh, yes. Beautiful. And yeah, that's absolutely what you want to see. It's Big running a similar kind of round, very fast with the MAC-10s. You don't give the pistols any time to really do anything. It's very easy for you to gain space quickly, to get the position you want, to get the bomb down. Those MAC-10s are really good in those rounds. So good to see that for Big. It pays off. And you know, now we start to see, okay, you know, what has Navi got under their sleeves? You know, of course, we won't see the AWP just yet. Their economy's a bit too frail for that. But we will have some M4s and some light utility. So they're always a danger, as you say.
Tabson moving to the outside. Zeus and Electronic outside. Zeus has made his way into main. He's got some spray, but there are so many targets for him. And the grenades continue. Will they expect Simple on the hut, however? That is a question. Now they know got to be taken out. 4 on 4. Versus Pro has some great double HE executes towards that main position as well. And we may have seen a similar thing there from Big. So many grenades, couldn't keep track of them all, but here we are.
So one thing to think about as well is that Electronic and Flamey do not have helmets, and so that means the MAC-10s will be slightly more powerful than otherwise. And it is a worry having the two MAC-10s in a round where you're up against these rifles. Can they really perform? Well, if you are lucky enough to face off against the players with no helmets, they can absolutely deliver. And we'll see the smokes outside, so that's going to suggest.
Oh dear!
Oh dear! There's a miscommunication there about where the smokes are supposed to go. Don't think it matters too much though. Anyway, as the push comes into the A-bomb sites.
Nerves, Dan. Nerves. Will it get to them? They start to creep in. Edward, how many kills is he good for? There's a 1v1. Will he expect more players, though? There's a second one taken out by Flamey. Is it a crossfire for the CTs? They are shutting this down. Tabson with 8 HP versus 3 players. He needs one-shots. He needs to avoid grenades. Electronic has the HE. But I don't know if he's in position. There is the first one. Moving away again, just in case. He has the bomb. But they'll get these sound cues. Flamey is above him in the A-bomb site. They know where Tabson is. And now the rotation is starting. There are 18 seconds to plant this bomb. Will he even be allowed? Look at him by the door, Electronic. Tabson's got the right plant, though.
Here's the running. Can he get a quick shot? No. Denied by Electronic. And Edward, absolutely the hero of that round. It really looked like they were going to lose the rounds. Edward gets that second 1v1. It really feels like he shouldn't be getting that, but just credit to Edward being able to adjust so quickly. And then here it is. You just see the frags start to stream in as then Flamey's in position and has Edward to play off of. Oh, that's another round that's really hard to lose, James. That's really difficult for Big. They know they should have had that.
I feel like we're seeing some really uncharacteristic things here from Big again. 2 smokes in the same place. I don't think I've ever seen that from this team.
True.
And again, they have these booths are elevated. They can see the entire crowd, and I do wonder.
Oh, that's scary.
And there's next level harassment.
They've gone for the double AWPs here on the T side of Nuke. That's interesting. The AWPs are not very mobile, not very dynamic. So with the AKs, you can move very quickly as a team. So the AWPs, and having double AWPs means that you have more of an investment in trying to get pickoffs. And if the CT side knows how to deny those, then it can be very difficult. You play a slow round, then you have to push into a bomb site. With the AWPs, it gets very awkward.
High flash. Now, if somebody's further away, the flash only lasts for a very short period of time. Sometimes you need not even look away. Flamey hears footsteps towards the side, towards ramp, but that's a great position from him. The gun exposes Goppy's position, and Vinegar falling to pieces once more. 3 versus 5. The bomber's been lost on the ramp. Could even get smoked off later on. Maybe not smoked off, but there is a molly in play, and now there are 2 players towards that ramp position. Once again, it's a disastrous situation for Big, and these players need to frag out. But as soon as Nex looks away, maybe the CTs will start to push. You saw the flank was coming in, but Nex has been dealt with, it seems. Now we've got Tabson and Smooya remaining. He's got 1 player, but he can't get a kill, and that's Smooya's alone in a 1 versus 4, with Navi looking to move towards 14 rounds. Very strong position for the CT side.
This is getting kind of hard to watch for from Big's perspective. It's really difficult to see them, in some of these positions that they're in, looking like they're not as confident as they normally are, as you say, missing some of that, utility or miscommunication, or whether it's the pressure, what it is that's getting to them. But for Navi, obviously they're having a good time here, and we're going to see Big pulling out the UMP, the CZs, the MAC-10. Signs of a desperate time for Big.
You can see Smooya talking to the team, discussing something, what they want to do. With a very limited... Will they be in the right places this time? There's one. There's the other one, and there is a Molotov behind them. So, round of applause. However, they were pretty ill-timed. One going down very early, and I think Navi will be confident that there is no player in secret at the moment. Electronic standing in those smokes towards secret, so they can focus elsewhere, Navi.
Plus a pretty decent nade from Zeus as well. Really feeling that push coming into play. Simple goes close with the AWP. The battle sniper got Edward up high for support as he rains damage from that position. Good vantage point. Oh, the shotgun comes out, but
and a 360 MLG!
Simple gets it done. Tizian taken down, left to Tapson. He is eliminated as well. Simple putting that all straight through his chest. And that is 15-6 match point here for Navi to move into those semis.
Simple's playing Call of Duty on the A bomb site. Spinning around with a PlayStation controller and still getting a kill. Match point for Navi, just the 6th round for Big. Another force fight, 2 rifles, a bunch of pistols and bits and bobs and pops and pans for Big. A tactical timeout from them. Next hasn't bought just yet. This is a nightmare for Big.
At this point, what is that left to say? What is there left to do? 1 round, and that's Navi through, and that's Big eliminated. Deep breath here as the headsets go back on.
There we go. 10 seconds now. What may be the last round for Big. It's been 3 rounds in a row for Navi. Since the buy round, basically, it has been all black and yellow. They are so well equipped, Simple with the AWP. They've got 2 AKs on their team. They've got more AKs than the T side.
Simple so ready for this. Navi starting off well. Edward picks off Gobby, finds the headshot. Simple making shots, moving around, constantly repositioning, even though he hasn't been spotted just yet. Rattling off shots left and right as Smia looks for the peak. Simple is in such a deep position at this point, it's going to be hard to find him. Oh, he spots an elbow, finds the shot onto Tapson. There's the trade coming out, but it's a 2 versus 3 here now for Big. His next trades, it is chaos in the outside positions as Big desperately try to scrape together another round.
Running all over the place, but one CT can hear them. Flamey taken out now, next versus 2. Does he dare even pick up a stronger weapon? He doesn't have the bomb just yet. He's looking for players maneuvering into better positions instead. He has a minute on the clock. Now, Zeus is moving through secret. He's not going to be found anytime soon. Edward is on that ramp position, but Next is so far away. This is such a long rotation. He can't really afford to go around that way. So we'll take the high ground advantage now. We're asking a lot of Next. He knows he can't walk all the way here. Would compromise too much time. Checking the outside. He has to assume that they know where he is now. And indeed, I'm pretty sure they do. 29 seconds. Bomb has been collected. You can see Edward in a held position. Next is going to get shots in the back surely. Gets around the corner just in time. Edward playing passive. 17 seconds now. He's got to plant this bomb. Edward on the ramp. Zeus in the vents. Will he find the right angle?
He's going to get crunched. There's nothing left to do. 16-6. Navi straight through to the semis here at London. And what a performance from them. From start to finish, pure class. This is a team that's bringing a new level to this major. And Big, they couldn't find their level, James. They couldn't find their playoff performance.
That was a very one-sided game of Counter-Strike. Looked very comfortable for Navi, and Big had no answers on Dust 2. All the flanks on the CT side of Navi were absolutely ridiculous, especially against teams such as Big, and nothing doing on their CT side on Nuke either. So it went from bad to worse for them, but Navi looked very, very strong, and you have to consider them a massive contender moving forward in the bracket.
Absolutely, one of the top teams in the world, the top 3 team, absolutely.